All right, quick story time, y'all. Let me tell you why I stopped lifting weights. And it's not for the reason you think. I don't have anything against weights. I think weight training is the most effective way to build muscle. I think it's the fastest way to, I can't even say I think, it's proven. Like the 8 to 12 rep range for 6 to 12 sets is proven the most effective and fastest way to grow muscle. Got it. I'm not arguing that. But why I gave up weight training, there was a very specific thing that happened that made me really like analyze what I was doing and what I was doing it for. So a couple years back, I was watching the news and there was a mass, and I had just done, it was in the mall, and I had just done legs two days prior, right? And I was like at that like soreness level where like I could barely walk. I'm like the last, quarter of the way down on the toilet was like a free fall. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. And earlier that day, I was at the mall with my family. Now, this happened in a completely different state, but I remember hearing that story and thinking like, hey, what if that had happened to me today when I was at the mall with my family and I can barely walk? Now, the first thought was, oh yeah, my adrenaline will take over. You hope your adrenaline would take over and you hope that you wouldn't blow your hamstring off the bone because your muscle is compromised. Yeah, your adrenaline might take over and you might push through, but your muscle is still compromised. That's how those gruesome injuries happen, because your body's overriding its natural, self-preservation. Like, hey, this muscle can't handle this much force, but you do it anyways. I just can't imagine tearing a hamstring off the bone while I'm trying to get my family to safety. You know what I mean? So I was just one of those things. I was like, man, when I'm working out so hard that I'm like incapable of doing things like just basic shit, basic everyday shit, like walking through the mall. Like my wife is like, you okay? She's stopping every couple seconds, like, come on, like, what's going on? I'm like, man, I'm like doing the mummy walk. Like, man, I can't, And I realized that like, hey man, like you're training so hard that like you're only good for the gym. Like the only time I was fresh and capable was when I was at the gym tearing my body back down to be sore for the rest of my regular life. You know what I mean? So that was kind of the thing that was like, man, I don't think I want to do this anymore, because I already knew that I didn't want to be massive. Like, I had no desire to step on a stage. I had no desire to be a bodybuilder. I'm just doing this because it was the thing to do. That's what everybody told you to do is go lift, squat, bench, deadlift, big, chasing numbers on the big three, push pull legs, bro splits, all that stuff. And I realized that I'm just doing shit because other people are doing it, and it didn't really align with what I wanted. So that's why I switched to calisthenics, because you can overdo it in calisthenics, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot less often that I'm like just broken down after a calisthenics workout, right? But at the same time, it's enough stimulus, right? It's enough stimulus to build the physique that I like. This build is the build I like. Lean and athletic, lean and aesthetic. That's what I'm going for. And calisthenics accomplishes that. I was chasing numbers. I was chasing PRs. I was chasing, I don't know what I was chasing. I was just competing with other people in the gym. And you kind of get in your head and you get in that mode where it's like you're just doing stuff to keep up with the people you see in the gym and the people you see online. And you really got to take stock of what your priorities are and align what you do with your actual priorities. Like, if you don't want to be a bodybuilder, if you don't want 18, 20-inch arms, you don't need to be going that hard in the gym. Stimulate, don't annihilate. And you can accomplish that with calisthenics, even with just your body weight. Now, I do add weight to my calisthenics to add, some more resistance. But outside of that, man, like I want to be ready when it's time to be ready. If a situation like that happened to me, God forbid, I want to be ready. I don't ever want there to be a time where it's like, man, I couldn't do this because I was like how backwards is that? How backwards is that? That's like, what are you training for? Like, think about that. What are you actually training for if the things that you're doing in the gym detracts from your capability in real life? I want you guys to really understand, like, hey, we build our bodies to be ready for the world, right? And as a man, as a father, as a husband, I'm building my body to be capable of doing the things that life requires of me to provide and take care of my family. I also want to look good. I also want to look good as well. But yet you can accomplish that doing basic calisthenics, body weight movements, calisthenics with additional resistance, running, wind sprints, all that stuff. You can accomplish that. But it doesn't break me down to the point that I can't. I'm incapable when the time comes. So I just want y'all to take that with you and think about it. Like, what do you truly value? And then tailor your workouts to meet that. That's all I got. Hey, dear. You okay, son? You look hot. Oh, come on, son. I love you too, son. You want to show him your pull-ups? Go ahead, boy. There you go. Pull, pull, pull. There you go. Good job, son. That's good. I love you too. Wow. Ooh. Strong boy.